15-3 Phillies as they devastate the Miami Marlins and the reigning Cy Young Award winner Sandy Alcantara. Ricky Pitalico, Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkan, John Kruk in a moment as we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. And that's what happens. You lose a game in the ninth inning like they did yesterday, this is the cure. They thumped them big time. They score in 5 different innings, beginning with 5 in the third.
I mean, to put this as purely and as easy as you can, the Phillies had 44 at-bats tonight. They had 20 hits in those 44 at-bats. That is dominant, and it was everybody. It was 1 through 6, just pounding the baseball around. How about Jake Cave?
Jake Cave,
Ooh,
my good, 2
Jake
for
Cave.
5.
I said Jake Cave.
Jake Cave, 2 for 5.
The Caveman goes deep in this one. I mean, that's what you want. You needed something to feel good about. After 4 blunders on the base paths yesterday, you come back in this one after blowing the game late yesterday, and you score 15 runs and 20 hits. You know what that does? Everybody in that clubhouse feels good.
Yeah, you mentioned 1 through 6, 16 for 28, Ben.
Is that good?
That's not too shabby. 16 for 28.
How about as a team, they were 9 for 19 with runners in scoring position. They had 19 opportunities. That's amazing to me. That 9 for 19. It is something that they've struggled with, and especially in the early part of the season. But to see the approach they had, and Matt Strahm, this guy's got 10 innings pitched on the year. He's got 10 Ks, and has only given up 5 hits. This guy gets it. This guy is good. And it's fun to watch him go out there and compete, and he does compete. Ricky talked about his attitude before the ball game started. He's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Let's go across the street because no one is more excited to join Phillies Postgame Live than this man right here, John Kruk from the
Michael.
Yes,
Michael.
Sir. Yes, sir, John.
There is nothing in the world I look more forward to.
We know it.
Post-game live.
We feel it. Over the game.
As opposed to post-game dead. But, yeah, sure. Let's work it.
Post-game dead would be – that would be bad, man. You don't want to do that. All right. Started off with regard to the bats and getting over on the reigning Cy Young Award winner. I mean, everyone's got a bad night time and again, but come on. They really thumped him.
Yeah, but, you know, this is why I like how the schedule is now, because you're not going to face any pitcher 6 times in 1 year, a starting pitcher 6 times in 1 year. I mean, you can't take Matt Strahm out of the rotation right now. You just can't. He is, like you said, one of the best pitchers. He is the best pitcher right now that the Phillies have statistically, but you got to keep throwing him out there and see. I mean, he's a fun-loving guy. In the dugout, before the game, after the game, during the game, though, you say, I mean, he competes his ass off.
Mm-hmm. Johnny, you're looking at.
I mean, I'm not a butt.
Yeah.
But.
You look at Sandy Alcantara's ERA went from 1.84 up to 5.79. He threw 37 pitches in the bottom of the third. He'd thrown 100 pitches in his last start against the Twins, a complete game. He looks like he was gassed out there, and I'm very surprised he went back out there for the 4th.
I was too. I thought that you know when your ace is getting hit around like that, you know he doesn't need to figure things out. So it's not like you leave him out there to try to fix something. He just ran into a buzzsaw tonight in the Phillies, and every mistake he made was hit hard. And you know, I personally, I probably would have taken him out earlier, especially when you came out and looked at him. I don't know what it was, his finger or something. You know, when the trainer and Skip Schumacher and Mel Stottlemyre Jr. went out there to see him, and you know, he said, "I'm fine, I'll stay in." But I mean, I probably would have gotten him right then.
John, the lineup: Stott, Turner, Schwarber, Castellanos, Bowman, Marsh. Does the lineup look the same tomorrow, like except for Real Muto coming in?
Yeah, well, JT will play, and but. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't see. Well, who's pitching for the Marlins tomorrow?
Luzardo.
Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo.
Tough lefty, man. I don't see why you would change anything.
Yeah.
Where's JT fit in?
Let's see if he bats. He'll probably bat Turner first. Kyle, JT, Nick, Bohm, then Stott maybe.
At Alcantara's numbers tonight against the Phillies, and we talk about how well the Phillies have done against him versus other teams. We do point out that coming into tonight's game at Citizens Bank Park, he was 4-2 against the Phillies with a 2.66 ERA. So there is that. And look at that ERA. It was 1.84 coming in. It goes to the better part of 6, way over 5 for Sandy Alcantara. I don't know what happens the next time he faces the Philadelphia Phillies.
You love going to the ERA. He's got 2 starts in. Michael, look at that ERA.
I don't care. Let's take.
It is what it is. He got pummeled around a little bit tonight.
Yeah, he did. Let's take a look at StatCast. What have we got for you on StatCast? Tonight, 10 hits allowed, and these are the types of pitches that Alcantara threw. We talked about how devastating his changeup can be, threw just 3 of them, and when you can't command the fastball, I guess maybe that's why.
Those are the hits. I mean, look at the areas. There's 1, 2, 3 balls that are crushable right in the middle of the plate, and then everything else is either elevated, and then a couple. I know one of those 2 on the right side bottom. One of those 2 is Trey Turner reaching out with 2 strikes and poking it to right field. So the Phillies did do some damage in a sense that they made him pitch early on and then caved. I mean, that was a big home run. You won't really look back to that, but who knows? If he gets through that part of the lineup, it could have been cruise control for Alcantara. It just wasn't at all. I thought the Phillies had a great approach against him, and they didn't miss anything that was hanging up in the zone.
How about the Marlins gave up 15 runs, and they had 2 pitchers pitching the game?
Yeah.
Alcantara threw 77 pitches, and Smeltzer threw 68.
Right.
How is that even possible? I mean, if you think about it, 15 runs. We were saying back after the 3rd inning when they got all those runs, oh, we're going to see a position player. We're going to see a position player, maybe the 7th and 8th inning. But to get through that with just 2 pitchers, that's remarkable to me. I can't believe that the Marlins were able to do that. It obviously benefited the Phillies, but they just were on attack mode all night.
15-3 Phillies, record now 4-6. They have won 4 of their last 6 games, which is pretty darn good. Here's Rob Thompson post-game in the clubhouse.
15 runs, 20 hits, exactly had in mind when you drew out that line.
Yeah. Funny how it works that way. Yeah, the offense was really a story tonight. I mean, Strom was really good, but and McKinley and Vasquez did a nice job as well. But it was the 20 hits. Bohm was 6 RBIs. 4 guys had 3 hits. It was against the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner. So that's pretty impressive.
His numbers have been considerably worse against you guys the last 2 years. Is there something, I guess, to figure out against him? Is it just?
No, I maybe we just see him better than other teams, But we had a good approach tonight. We used the field and got his pitch count up and did a very nice job.
What was the explanation on the Castellanos ejection?
Well, he took his bat and pointed to the ground where he felt like the ball crossed the plate.
Is that ejection worthy?
Oh, yeah. It's like drawing a line.
How big was Stott in that 3rd inning? There were 2 outs in that inning. He gets a hit, steals second, scores on a bloop, and then it opens up.
Yeah,
from there.
it just opened everything up, yeah. Well, Cave got it going with the home run, obviously. And then they got 2 outs, and, yeah, he got it going. Stolen base, Turner base hit, stolen base, Schwarber base hit, I believe. Castellanos double, so it just opened things up. So it was good. Stott had really good at bats. Saw a lot of pitches, work counts, couple hits. Had a good night.
You talked before the game about the characteristics that make you like him up there at the top. How much does it lengthen the lineup too at a time when you're down Bryce and Reese is not here?
Yeah, getting him up there and getting him on base in front of Turner and JT when he's in the lineup, and Schwarber and Castellanos, and then Bohm. It really lengthens the lineup and gives us 2 guys at the top now that can get on base, steal bases, create havoc.
I know you said you would rethink it again after the game with the lefty tomorrow. Is it something you might want to take another look at?
Yeah, no, we're going to discuss it once I go back up.
You see what's going on with Stubbs?
Yeah, his hamstring got tight, and I told him, do not run. No, that's why he wasn't running. It's because I told him not to run.
There was a lot of talk coming into the season after Hoskins got hurt about where you're going to get the home runs from until Harper gets back. Bohm has 3 home runs in 10 games now. Is it too early, or do you read something into that?
I think his power is he's going to have more power because he's bigger and stronger than he was at any time in his life. So, and he's learning how to pull the ball. We don't want him to be a pull hitter. We want him to keep the same approach because he's a good hitter with some power. So, I think you'll see the power numbers go up.
You did get 5 shutout innings out of Matt today. I mean, how did you think he threw again?
I thought he did great, and there were long innings when he was sitting down. He still had pitches left, but that was the first time he'd gotten up 5 times in a game, and because of the length of how much we were hitting, we didn't want to risk it, sending him out for the 6th time.
Do you have any 2 times through the rotation? Any takeaways at all?
Yeah, I think we're still building pitch counts. We're still building velocities, still building command. But I think we're heading in the right direction.
Rob Thompson, and the numbers that we've been showing, as Ben said while we were watching, they look fake. You cannot believe that the Phillies put up those hit totals, run-scoring totals against any team, let alone the Miami Marlins, a division rival. Let's talk a little bit about Stubbs and what we're going to see going forward. And you heard Rob Thompson say, I told him not to run. And that was evident and probably really smart. He said his hamstring was tight. It looked like if it was tight, it was as tight as a guitar string.
Yeah, it's an issue. It's definitely an issue because when you look at the 40-man roster for the Phillies, there are really 2 catchers right now.
And with really good glove side with that fastball as well. And he sped them up inside with that 4-seamer and then was able to throw the back foot breaking ball. He was outstanding. That's one thing. If you could do that as a left-handed hitter, get them conscious of the pitch inside, then you can eat them up with a breaking ball down and in.
No one gets home on Matt Strahm. But here's the question. Why not pitch him longer?
Well, Crucky said it was probably because of the long innings on offense the Phillies had, which I could understand. But when Topper's decision was merely made because he was up and down 5 times for the first time this year, I don't know. I mean, you weren't. I guess the most important thing is you had a cushion. You had that big cushion, so it wasn't like, okay, well, when he comes out, I have to go to Alvarado. I have to go to Kimbrel. Right. I have to go to Sir Anthony. You got those big 3 the night off, which I think is probably more important than anything else right now because you get those guys rested and ready to go for tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, with cap on, the locks flowing, looks different in the locker room post game. Here's Matt Strahm on his performance.
Alcantara, I know you're not facing him.
Yeah.
You know you got to be efficient. You got to keep them, pretty low scoring. 5 scoreless. How's that feel, knowing you outdueled him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the boys put it on him early, and after they did that, I just knew how big that shutdown inning was to get him back in there and to keep Sandy on his heels, and it worked out for us.
What do you think Ann Arbor will be so efficient with your pitch counts? I know you had more tonight, but you have been limited in the pitch count. You're still getting deep.
Yeah, just attack hitters. I guess I'm aware of that, and I've been down in the bullpen when you have a starter that is on a pitch count, and I know how frustrating that can be. So it's for the boys, I guess. Just throw it over the plate and let the guys get out because our bullpen's been working.
You talked about the cat and mouse game. It was a reliever versus starter. You got to face it the second time. Looked like the 4th inning you went in from the fastball a little bit, changed it up. That's by design, I assume. Came off balance.
Stubby, man. I don't think I shook him off once tonight. I got all the confidence in the world with catchers we got here, and he sees these guys more than I do, and just to put all my trust in him. And like I said, I don't think I shook once, so it's all stubby.
Rob said there had not been some long innings. You might have left you in there a little longer. How'd you feel at the end of 5, and you felt like you had a lot left?
No, yeah, I felt really good. I stared at his hand before I shook it. I was like, "You sure?" But I understand it, and I understand the role, and it's his team, and whenever he wants to take the ball, he can take it.
You kind of touched on this after your last outing, but you're animated out there. You have a lot of reactions after a lot of your pitches. Where does that come from?
I just think my competitive nature, also a little bit of a perfectionist. So, I mean, again, you'll see me strike someone out and cuss myself out because I didn't throw it where I wanted to. But that's just my energy, and, I mean, I'm hard on myself, and I think that's what makes me who I am.
How do you like starting compared to coming out of the bullpen?
I love pitching, so it doesn't matter when. I just love pitching.